Welcome to today's video. So a couple days ago, I posted a video talking about the current war that's going on in Israel. In that video, I made a comment that I'm not going to be your war correspondent giving you a breakdown of everything that's going on, but I'm paying attention to the news. I saw this video labeled Prophecy Update from Pastor Brandon Holthouse of Rock Harbor Church in Bakersfield, California. This is not my pastor. This is not my church. I don't even live in the state of California. But this video has several warnings when you go to watch it that has sensitive content, because at the beginning of his video, he shows pictures and video of the horrors that the Jewish people are facing. Why am I doing this video? Well, this guy, Martin Niemöller in Nazi Germany, wrote this poem called First They Came for the Communist, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialist, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. We are seeing the media narrative. Today is Friday, October 13th. My first video was Wednesday, October 11th. And in Brandon Holthouse's video, he plays a couple clips that I'm going to share. These are not graphic in nature. This is more about the reporting on the war in Israel. But let's watch this clip together.
Trying to equivocate and what Israel is doing, equivocating to what the Palestinians or Hamas has done. And watch this mother who has had her children stolen, by the way, put her in her place.
Now, keep in mind, this interview is taking place with a woman whose children have been kidnapped.
I'm keeping my hopes up that they're alive and well. I know that their father and his spouse were taken also, because we've seen one of the videos that Hamas put on. So we know that they're alive, and I'm hoping that they're with them. And as they took hundreds of children, babies, women, and elderly people, some of them from the place I live in, I'm hopeful that they're all together and that they have other people that they know around them to keep them safe and to give them a hug.
So that they're all together.
And I just want them back home. Sorry?
I'm sure you want them to be with people they know so that they're not alone there. But what are your feelings about the attacks against Gaza right now?
So, honest question here. How oblivious do you have to be as a news person, a journalist, to ask a woman whose children have just been kidnapped by terrorists? She thinks they're alive because there's a video that Hamas released, and she saw her children in that video. She's hoping they're alive. And your follow-up question is, well, what do you think about Israel's response in the Gaza Strip? I mean, at what time would this ever be appropriate? I mean, what would you do if let's take Israel out of the equation here. If if you're a news anchor and you're interviewing a family member of a kidnapped victim or whatever, or a murder victim, would it be okay for your next question to be, well, I'm sorry your family member was murdered, but don't you think that the death penalty is kind of barbaric? Let's continue watching, because this woman's reaction, she was a whole lot calmer. I cannot imagine this woman even being this composed, talking to this news channel. So,
how can the government?
I must say that, look, you're looking for a symmetrical situation, and I must say, it isn't. If you were dealing with a war who is between two countries, countries don't take children hostages. I'm sorry. It's against the laws of war. It's against humanity. It's against anything that we all believe in. Every time we had missiles shot at us, I used to say to my children that they should be sympathetic towards the children of Gaza because they suffer a lot more than they do. I'm not sure I still believe in it now. And I must say, the only worry I have now from the bombings in Gaza is the fact that my children are there. I can't be sympathetic anymore. I can't be sympathetic to animal human beings. Well, they're not really human beings, who came into my house, broke everything, stole everything, took my children from.
So this woman is living. Why did I read that poem by Martin Niemöller earlier? Because this woman is living this. Children have now been kidnapped. In the past, she was sympathetic, but there's no sympathy left because her sympathy, she was probably one of the people who are like, oh, let's give land here. Let's just make peace at whatever cost it takes. But now that the cost has hit her, she's woken up.
From their bedrooms and took them to the Gaza Strip. Israel never done that and will never do. So there is no symmetry. I'm sorry.
Do you want the government?
I'm sorry to be so emotional.
Do you want the government to put the top priority on getting the hostages out before they retaliate?
My government.
Still, the news anchor is more concerned about Israel's response, and she's trying to get this woman who is the victim of her children being kidnapped to admit on air on a news channel, hey, let's just be nice, let's be peaceful, let's not retaliate. This is unbelievable.
To put it on the first priority, and I want the world to put it on first priority. I think any mother in the world should try and imagine her children under that situation and then think again. That's all I want. I want the world to ask them to release children, to release elderlies, to release the civilians they took. There is no reason to hold them there. They are not soldiers, they are not part of the war, and they have nothing to do with it. We gave them work permits. We really believed that this was the way to move their economy, to reconnect these two so-called countries. This is not the way a country behaves. This is a way that a terror organization behaves. I'm sorry. So again, there's no symmetry.
That's right. There is no symmetry. So here's what's happening on our campuses.
So I'm going to mute this for this part. I'm not going to play Rock Harbor's entire video, But there's one other clip after this.
12 North Carolina Democrats storm out when they were asked to denounce the rape of Jewish women and the beheading of babies. Here are the people, if you're listening from North Carolina,
So
here are the Democrats that walked out
from
on
North
that.
Carolina.
John
So
Autry, Amber Baker,
these people,
Gloristine Brown, Kanika Brown, Maria
these
Cervania,
are people
Terrence
that,
Everett, Pricey Harrison,
when we say
Nasif Majid, Marcia.
when we say stand with Israel, this is what we're talking about. Don't support people like this. These are people, and North Carolina used to be a fairly conservative state. Thankfully, I don't live there anymore, but I would be highly upset. In fact, if you live in North Carolina, there needs to be, the switchboards need to be filled for the state general assembly. You need to, if one of these people, I mean, we can see protesting over much smaller issues. You know, let's talk about a bill possibly banning TikTok. Oh, we'll have all kinds. Government offices will get flooded with protest response. Now, I am not saying do not go to Raleigh, North Carolina, and stand out in front of the General Assembly building, holding signs, having a in-person crowded protest. You are setting yourself up to end up in a bad situation. So don't do that. But these were just a couple updates. I'm going to link his video. I hope it does not destroy my channel, but I don't have much of a following anyway, and I do believe the Lord's coming back soon. In this video update beginning, he shows several videos, so it's not just watching news and people are talking about videos they've seen. He actually shows you these videos. So check his video out. It's an hour long. It's worth your time, I believe, to watch this and get a good feeling for what's going on, because over this weekend, I know Israel is in the process of responding. From what I'm seeing, a lot of the folks who are on the ground say that Israel is getting ready to do some type of ground-based invasion. They've been doing airstrikes up to this point, but we definitely need to keep our eyes peeled. He also kind of gives his church a homework assignment to read Psalm 83. Whether you believe in that or not, that's something for you to look at and consider. But just know, look, we watch movies, kids play video games with all kinds of killing and dismemberment. You will see these warnings pop up and you will think it's the worst thing in the world. The pictures are disturbing, but it's not as bad as you've seen. We're in October. There are horror movies getting released. Horror movies are more graphic than the pictures he's showing you. So just keep that in mind. It's surveillance footage, that kind of stuff. So hopefully you'll be able to check out this video. I would not delay. You need to watch this update while you can. I don't know if it will be taken down, because to do this video, when I tried to go back in my history, look at it, I think there's some problems with it because of the videos he had at the beginning. That's why I pulled out this part and I put it on my channel. So at least there's nothing graphic here, but you can kind of see how people are responding. So thank you for watching this. And again, I don't want to be the Israeli war news correspondence channel, but as a Christian, this is the way I can let the word get out, because we're starting to see in American society, we're starting to see them. What's the word I'm looking for? We're starting to see them. Hey, okay, these things have happened. Okay, let's start talking peace. Let's start talking peace. It's like if you're in a hostage situation and you've got guys with guns pointed at you, just because they went off to another room doesn't mean that all the hostages say, okay, they've left us for that. They're over there in that other room talking to the police. Let's try to make peace with them. It doesn't work. So again, and please remember, as Christians, the Bible says, blessed are the peacemakers. We need to, it's good to encourage peace, but this is Israel. This is God's people, and he is still their people. And I have a feeling I may even turn comments off for this video, because from what I understand, there are a lot of Christians that have anti-Semitic views. I've heard them throughout my life. People are like, well, the Jews killed Jesus, so they deserve whatever they get. That is a totally unbiblical view. And if you want to be super accurate about it, the Jews didn't kill Jesus. They delivered Jesus to the Romans. It was a Roman cross and Roman nails and a Roman governor that carried out the execution. In other words, it was us Gentiles that nailed Christ to the cross, because in the time Jesus lived, Jews did not have the authority to put someone to death. So they may have delivered him into the hands of Pilate. They may have chanted, crucify him. Pilate essentially took the equivalent of a pole, and he had the popular support of the crowd that the Pharisees and Sadducees had stirred up against Jesus. But we need to be vigilant. We need to do our diligence, stay informed as much as we can on what's going on, so when the media tries to stir us up and get us to turn against Israel, we don't fall for it like the folks that said release Barabbas and crucify Christ. So till next time, always remember Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. All these things shall be added unto you.